somebody was like, brought the team together or was even like, come on, like lifting each other up, or you know what, especially for Tim Ream, he had a lot of mistakes last night. And it's difficult when you're the captain and you're expected to not make any mistakes. But in that moment, and I've been in that situation before, being the captain of a team and making a mistake that's determining the game, and nobody's been there to help lift me up. And I think he needed that in that moment. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We're humans before we're football players, and it doesn't matter who you are on the field or how big you are, you need that. And there was nobody on this U.S. side to be that person for them. So it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter the quality that you have. It doesn't matter the team that you play on. We all need that at some moment, especially when your team is down by 2 or by 3. And I was really hoping to see that out of Pulisic, out of McKinney, and I don't think anybody did that. And what does that mean for the U.S. moving forward? You can't just be playing on a big team and think that that's enough. You need to take that responsibility and make something of it. It was very difficult to watch. As a football fan, it was very difficult to watch just mistake after mistake, and it was just in the little details for them.
Also, we waited so long. We've been talking about this buildup of playing a tournament on home soil, playing a World Cup on home soil. So to not get past the round of 16, and I think the bigger thing is it was a reality check. It was a reality check that USA is far from the level of actually competing. To be in the top 8, because they would have moved on from the quarterfinals, they're far from being in the top 8 of football. And a lot of it does come down to the group. The best national teams in the world, they form that group. They get up in the big moments. We had our worries defensively. Coming into the tournament, what was the conversation? It was, how is USA going to be when they have to play against really good teams, attacking players? How's the defense going to look? How's the goalkeeper going to look? We got those answers now once they played a team that was ranked above them in the rankings.
Well, everybody, today we are live on YouTube, so you can comment down below all your thoughts and opinions. We'll be getting to them. One comment we've already had this morning is layup for Belgium.
Layup.
I think
too much talk from the USA perspective.
You think so?
Too much. For me, I mean, the team has to do what they have to do, but we have to also remember where USA actually is. It's not just you beat Australia, you beat Bosnia. You have to beat big teams if we want to be able to talk and keep us in contention.
Yeah. Another comment here. US men's national team faltered under pressure. Pulisic didn't even break a sweat. Ream got dunked on. Freese kicked the ground instead of the ball. Should we talk about this golden generation then, Lahu? Do you think they've missed their chance now?
Yeah, before we get to that, I really want to hit on something that Marco touched on about the round of 16, because I think the golden generation chat is something that is a just massive, bigger picture thing. But the round of 16, this has become a bit of a habit, and we've witnessed it covering the game. You've witnessed it as well, covering this beautiful game. There's this psychological thing, this psychological roadblock for the U.S. men's national team when it comes to this. And I'm going to be frank, when they come up against some of the big boys have gone belt to ass against the U.S. men's national team. They have taken off the belt like Michael Irving did for the University of Miami this past year when it came to college football, and they went, this cannot continue, because this was supposed to change under Mauricio Pochettino. And what I saw, and you went through every single one of those players, what I saw in that game was, from a psychological standpoint, they crumbled under the pressure. And for me, I saw the pendulum swing momentum-wise, because looking at some of the performers on the pitch today, Christian Pulisic was a ghost. Tyler Adams was pedestrian, and Tyler Adams is part of the engine room for the U.S. men's national team. Weston McKennie was getting bodied by Nicholas Raskin, who I thought was outstanding, by the way. Serginho Dest looked like he had no direction. You mentioned Tim Ream. Chris Richards had a really difficult game, and Alex Freeman is young, he's inexperienced, he looked that way. So every single player chose the worst possible day to have their worst possible game at this World Cup. But if you're the U.S. men's national team, this is a moment for reflection for me, because you came out, you got a coach who has raised the ambition of the men's national team, but yet the same results. So where do they go from here? That's a question that I can't answer today. If I could, I'd be getting paid the big bucks. I'd still be working for the Lasso Network, big bosses, but I'd probably have a job with the U.S. Soccer. So this creates more questions than the answers we thought we were getting. during the group stages.
Generally, the Call It What You Want crew said the round of 16 was like an expectation for this US side in this World Cup. Do you think this was a success for the US this World Cup so far, or a failure?
It's difficult.
Because I think we all expected them to get
before. Argentina, 3 times winners, the holders, 6 times finalists, attempting to become the first team to win 2 in a row since Brazil over 60 years ago. And it is Argentina who kick off here in Atlanta. The winners of this will play tonight's match between Switzerland and Colombia in the quarterfinals. And Argentina in the blue and white striped shirts, white shorts, white socks, in possession. Ball played over the halfway line, but Egypt have it back with Haney, the right back, but Argentina win possession back now on the left flank. And it comes all the way back to the halfway line, where Paredes will just put his foot on the ball because there is an injury over on the left-hand side, and one of the Argentina players is down, having stretched for it. And so it's Enzo Fernandez. So we will just have a little stoppage there. Did he just get his toe stood on?
I think he got his foot stuck in the ground and his knee twisted. It was a challenge over on the far side. It's interesting to see Egypt the way that they've lined up. They're looking very much like they're going to be a back 5 out of possession. Assure, who we expected to play on the right-hand side, he's over on this left-hand side acting as like a false wing-back. So when they're out of possession, they're looking like a 5. But immediately you've seen early signs from Egypt that they're going to press high and they're going to try and set a really quick tempo early in this game.
Yeah, Assure, who has been playing on the right, but as Paul says, is on the left, the man who scored 2 goals for Egypt at this World Cup. And Argentina, I think Enzo Fernandez is all right, didn't need treatment, and he's able to continue. Listen to this, inside this ground. There's the long pass from Martinez, looking for the run of Alvarez. It's headed away, but Alvarez has got it back. This could be dangerous. Into the penalty area, McAllister with the run, but the challenge came in on him from Haney, the right back, who did well, actually, because that was an excellent run from McAllister.
Really good
that's
run.
The best of McAllister, isn't it, doing that?
When he runs from deep like that, and that's the problem that this Argentina team have got with Messi. You don't know where he's going to pop up, and McAllister running from deep, they're very difficult to mark.
Yes, so this is the Atlanta Stadium. It's hot outside, up to around about 90 degrees, as the woman in the lift told me this morning. She's actually from round here, and she said, yeah, it's going to be 90 degrees, as though that was just a matter of course.
But it's amazing how the locals are not bothered, are they?
No, not in the slightest.
We've walked 20 minutes to the hotel. I look like I got out of a shower, and then you see the locals, and they're just walking around with a jumper over the shoulders.
Here's DePaul, McAllister now through the middle. Messi gets his first touch. Messi's 31st appearance in a match at a World Cup finals, extending his record, but then the long pass forward is way beyond anyone in a blue and white shirt, and it's through for a goal kick. Argentina 0, Egypt 0, and the drums are in. Both the Egypt fans and the Argentina fans have got big bass drums, so you'll hear that as part of the rhythm of this match. Egypt playing the ball out from the back to Hafez, but it's played all the way back to Shubia, the goalkeeper. One of 4 goalkeepers in the Egypt squad, which is most unusual, Paul.
Very. When I was doing the prep on Egypt coming into this tournament, you did wonder why they'd chosen 4. I mean, they've got the option, they can.
And it was a bit of a choice, wasn't it, between El Shanawi and Shubia as to who would be the first choice, but it is Shubia who's got the nod. He's down there, all in yellow. Ball still inside his penalty area. Egypt trying to play out from the back. And then Lachine, who was suspended for that match in the round of 32 against Australia, but has come straight back in. Lachine, the number 17, and Egypt enjoying a period of possession inside their own half, and then Ashua is challenged, and he's got a problem as well. He's just been caught, and he's gone down. I think he's been caught amidships, so he'll be able to recover okay. Yeah, although he's got back on his feet, but he's still holding the affected area and is leaning over. But I think he'll be okay. Yeah, still leaning over Ashua. Argentina won the throw-in, and it is taken, and they've got the ball on the left-hand side, but that is given away. And now might be a chance for Atia, but Argentina quickly onto them, but that is given as a foul by the referee, by the way. Enzo Fernandez committing the foul. Francois Letessier, the referee, one of the best referees in Europe. He's refereed the Champions League final, and many other big games. We're used to seeing him, aren't we, in the Champions League. Actually, he's going to be in charge of the Super Cup as well when Aston Villa play Paris Saint-Germain next month. which is a match you'll be able to hear with us on 5 live from Salzburg. But let's not talk about next season, Paul. We've still got plenty on our plate from this season. And it is Egypt in possession with Hassan over on the right-hand side. So Ashur has previously played on the right, but Hassan has come into the team for his first start, and he's playing on the right. Ball played down by Ashur, but Argentina are able to deal with that. And then Ashur just skips away, and as he stabbed the ball out towards the left-hand side, there was the left-back, Hafez, who gives it back to him. This is good stuff from Ashur down the left. He's challenged, goes down, wants a free kick. Letessier, the referee's not interested, and Argentina have got possession back with Paredes.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a threat, Ashur, down this left-hand side, playing as a makeshift left-back, as you say, was on the right before. He knows how to play there. He's a versatile player.
Egypt have won it back, but it comes to nothing with Rabia on the left-hand side, and Egypt go back towards the halfway line. I know we spoke before the match about, you know, how it's a relatively unchanged Argentina squad. You mentioned it yourself, Paul, but 9 of this team started the World Cup final 4 years ago. That just really underlines, doesn't it? And as well as that, Montiel came on. Paredes came on, he's in the starting lineup, and Lautaro Martinez as well came on as a substitute. So 3 others as well who may well be involved today.
Well, there's only 5 in the entire squad that's changed from that side. So the point that you're making about an ageing squad, certainly experienced and tournament veterans, but will the age play part?
Oh, there's a block, there's a blatant block by Tagliafico on Hassan, who's trying to break away, played the ball forward, past Tagliafico, who just stepped into his path, and that is a free kick to Egypt on the right-hand side, who I must say have started well.
I was just going to say, there's certainly no lack of confidence from them. They're not giving Argentina any respect. They're getting in the faces, they're pressing high, and they're quite happy to go and take them on at the moment. And Hassan, who's come on the right-hand side, he's been excellent. He's got round the outside there, and he's won his side a free kick, which Mo Salah's looking like he's going to put into the box.
The boos and cheers, by the way, one of those social media people who isn't terribly popular has just been shown on the big screen. So
how do you know that?
Well, just
somebody must have warned you that was happening before the game.
I'm aware of that person. Egypt playing the ball in towards the back post, but Argentina are just able to clear that away. Lisandro Martinez did well there, the Manchester United man. Was aware of the danger, and Argentina have got it away to the halfway line.
You know, one of those social media persons, do they have a name?
It's Speed, isn't it? Speed?
I don't have no idea, John.
Yeah, something like that. And he was totally unaffected by the fact that he was being roundly booed. That's, I think, the biggest boo I've heard for someone that's been shown on a big screen since Gianni Infantino the other night. Argentina playing it forward. And Enzo Fernandez chasing after it, and then he played it onto Haney, but it bounced back onto him and out of play, and it's a throw into Egypt. It's 0-0 if you've just joined us on 5 Live, and there is a choice of listening right now. As you'll know, our Wimbledon coverage continues. That right now is on Sports Extra 2 on your BBC Sounds app, and the latest T20 between England and India will be on Sports Extra very shortly. It starts at 5:30 UK time from Trent Bridge. Argentina 0, Egypt 0. And ball with Argentina, way down below us with Molina. Julian Alvarez dropping deep. That's the big decision, isn't it, to bring in Julian Alvarez instead of Lautaro Martinez. You know, what a great option that is as well. Argentina curling the ball forward to Messi inside the penalty area, but the defensive work was very good from Rabia, who came across shoulder to shoulder with Messi, who was running diagonally across the penalty area away from goal, and he was able to put it out for a throw.
Yeah, he stuck tight to Messi there. That's the runs that he makes, the little magician. Fernandez it was who dropped in the pocket, ball over the top.
Ball slipped forward now. De Paul inside the box, could be offside. De Paul plays it across, and then it's shot wide by Enzo Fernandez. He should have put it in the net, but it wouldn't have counted anyway. He was offside, De Paul.
I think De Paul must have known he was offside, because he was given the freedom of the penalty area. I mean, he was good 3 or 4 yards offside. Ball slipped through in behind to him, gets through in behind this Egyptian defence for the first time. Takes his time, looks for the option, pulls it back to Enzo Fernandez, and he can only be thankful that he was offside, because that is a terrible miss from Fernandez.
Argentina 0, Egypt 0. And it is Almost 10 past 12 here in Atlanta, this massive city, and this stadium very close to the city centre, so it's within walking distance for most of the people, I would imagine, who've come here for this match, and not too far away from the famous Centennial Olympic Park. A bit of greenery in the middle of Atlanta, which is a fan festival park for the World Cup. As the ball is played forward by McAllister for the run down the left-hand side, but Haney's able to come across for Egypt and play the ball back to his goalkeeper. Egypt in the red shirts, black shorts and black socks, and Egypt playing it out from the back. Ashua comes for it. Then Hafez from left back continues to come forward, but I think he's overrun that, and he was caught though as well by Enzo Fernandez. Another foul by Enzo Fernandez. They're beginning to mount up. Free kick to Egypt in the centre circle, Paul Robinson.
They're doing well, the wide players for Egypt, because what they're doing is they're causing an overload in that midfield, and Argentina at times in this game already are getting caught. There's only Leandro Paredes that will sit and hold deep. DePaul, McAllister, Fernandez, they're all looking to get up and support the two front players, and there are spaces there for Egypt to exploit.
Salah not being able to get into the match at all yet, Paul, and we've played 10 minutes.
They've been effective in other areas. I think he's been well marshalled at the back at the moment by Martinez. That'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on, whether he actually has enough of Martinez and roams over to the other side to go to Romero.
Yeah, Martinez and Salah. Manchester, a little bit of Manchester United and Liverpool here in Atlanta, or former Liverpool now, of course, as we have to say about Mo Salah, the free agent.
Was linked heavily with La Liga this morning, I saw.
Was he?
Yeah,
I didn't see that. Namely? Which club?
No, it didn't mention the club, it just said a move to La Liga. I mean, you can only presume, can't you?
Well, it's got to be one or the other, hasn't it?
Yeah, surely.
Wouldn't that be an interesting move at 34 years old?
I think
but he'd play a part, wouldn't he?
Well, absolutely, when you look at Messi at his age and what he's able to do.
Ball's headed away by Haney for Egypt, and it's out for a throw down the left-hand side, which is taken back to Tagliafico in Argentina. Here's Paredes. He's one of the three players who's come in, as well as Alvarez, Paredes and Tagliafico for the injured Medina. Argentina with Enzo Fernandez. Julian Alvarez on the edge of the box. Tagliafico gives it back to Enzo Fernandez. Jet black hair of Enzo Fernandez. And then back to the halfway line, where Argentina will play it between the two central defenders. The Tottenham captain, probably former Tottenham captain, Romero, who, well, he wasn't credited with the winning goal, was he? It went down as an own goal against Cape Verde, but important presence inside the opposing penalty area, as we know that he has been for Tottenham Hotspur during the course of this season. Christian Romero with the 6 goals that he scored for Spurs in that struggle against relegation that they eventually won. Egypt winning the ball back in centre field, and then Ashur steps in and he was caught, although that's being heavily disputed. And I think my feeling was, we're a long way away, but my feeling was he was caught. But free kick's given. Messi complains about it, DePaul complains about it, and now Paul we'll see definitively that as DePaul came in with the challenge on Ashur.
I don't think DePaul helps himself, because he's jumped into the challenge with 2 feet, and I think he realises it, pulls out, and he doesn't make contact, but the referee's right there and he's seen the action. I think that's why he's blown up. Here's
Hassan for Egypt. They took the free kick quickly. Hassan, willowy figure, gets the crossover into the penalty area, but that's nodded away, headed away by Molina to comparative safety. And it's been a decent start to the match, even though neither goalkeepers had a save to make yet. Egypt, little ball over the top. That's for Haney pushing forward from right back. He's got a toe to that. He brought it down, and he's managed to play it out off Lisandro Martinez for a first corner of the match to Egypt.
Good wide play once again. That's where they've had most of the joy. You touched on it there. But Mo Salah hasn't really got into the game, because that's the way they've been trying to do their attacking, almost down the flanks.
Corner taken short. Ashua gets it back. Ashur pulls it onto his left foot, beats his man, and then tries to beat him again, but will play it back, and the ball is curled into the Argentina penalty area, and it's headed in! Ibrahim, the central defender, 6 yards out. We have a shock scoreline. The holders Argentina 0, Egypt 1.
Ibrahim stuns Atlanta, and all those blue and white shirts away to our left. The goal in front of them has just been pierced, and it was a short corner routine. The ball ends up coming into the box. And it's a really good header from Ibrahim at the far post. He climbs the highest and he's the strongest, and he powers it past Emi Martinez. The goalkeeper's got no chance. And the bench beneath us, the manager, the substitutes and all the staff, we're getting shots on the screen now. The Argentina players shaking their heads in disbelief and looking at each other. It's Ashur on the right-hand side, lays the ball back, and it's a lovely out-swinging ball to the far post. And he gets inside Martinez. There's a lot said about Lisandro Martinez and the size of him as a central defender. And he gets out-muscled by his opposite central defender at the far side. He gets in front of him and he rises high. Powers it past Martinez. Nothing he can do. But what a start that is for Egypt.
They've played well, and now they've got the lead. Egypt, never been this far into a World Cup tournament before. This year, the first time that they had even won a match at a World Cup. At the 9th attempt it was, before they beat New Zealand. First time they've won a knockout match at the World Cup, albeit on penalties in the previous round, in the round of 32. And now here they are, winning 1-0 against the holders in the round of 16. And they're gaining a bit of momentum in the competition.
They're here with nothing to lose, and they're playing with freedom, and they're not playing with fear. Give them a lot of credit. They've come here and they've not set up against Argentina to try and protect themselves, to try and be defensive. They're playing with freedom. They're playing forward, they're going at Argentina, and they've got their just reward. It's an incredible start for them.
And Yasser Ibrahim is the man who will have his name up on lights in the massive wraparound 360-degree video screen as Egypt come again towards the edge of the penalty area. Atia Salah on the edge of the box, receiving the ball in the D, might have been shoved over there, wanted a free kick. I think he's laughing at referee Letitia because he didn't give him it.
I think it was a free kick. I mean, we see Mo Salah go over far too often and regularly in the Premier League, but actually that was it. From up here it looked like an initial contact from Paredes.
So Argentina 0, Egypt 1, and Argentina again have work to do. And the ball's out of play for a throw into Egypt halfway inside their own half. They've now scored 7 goals at this World Cup, Egypt, which is 2 more than their combined total at all of the previous World Cups that they've played at. Mind you, it's about time that they improved their World Cup record. You know, the football nation that Egypt is. The fact that they have won the Africa Cup of Nations a record 7 times. But in the World Cup, time after time after time, they've either not been there or they've disappointed. There's a foul by Haney and a free kick to Argentina, 7 or 8 yards inside their own half.
Well, they're pressing high again, Egypt. They're not sitting back after the goal. Snapping into challenges. It was a foul. And I think Argentina at the moment are quite stunned as to the start that Egypt have had. If they didn't expect them to play at this tempo or this pace, they're certainly going to have to get used to it, and quickly.
Yes, Julian Alvarez just got his foot stood on there. So, free kick, but he's okay. And Argentina, they've got a battle on their hands here, because we know that Egypt can be difficult to break down. All of their opponents have found that to be the case. They've actually conceded just the 1 goal in all 4 matches that they've played Egypt. Messi receives the ball, he's come deep for it on the halfway line, and then passes it forward with the angle. Enzo Fernandez now, Tagliafico inside the box, challenge comes in on him, and that has been given as a penalty. Well, Haney stepped into Tagliafico, who went tumbling down inside the penalty area. Again, from this distance, I'm not absolutely sure about that, but referee Letitia, much closer, immediately pointed to the spot.
Oh, what a brilliant ball, first of all, from Enzo Fernandez, I think it is. Slots it in behind the Egypt defence. And it's a run from left-back from Tagliafico, gets inside Haney. And he gets there first as Tagliafico, and he takes the ball away from Haney. But what they've got to work out, the officials, is Tagliafico goes looking for this. He leaves his right foot into Haney. He knows exactly what he's doing. He initiates the contact. Puts his legs between it. He's not going to overturn that.
Surely they'll stick with the referee's call for this.
That's a penalty.
Yeah.
He's not going to overturn that. I think he got there first, did Tagliafico, which is the telling factor. And actually, as he left his trailing leg there, whether he instigated the penalty, whether he knew the contact was coming or not, the contact in the end arrived. It's a penalty.
Well, the Egyptian lead might not last long, because you know who is placing the ball on the penalty spot. It's Argentina 0, Egypt 1. That was a real stunner, the header from Ibrahim. But Lionel Messi is standing there with his hands on his hips. So the Egyptian goalkeeper, Mustafa Shubia, remember, he has missed a penalty already at this World Cup. Lionel Messi, but he's staring at the ball, no distractions. Argentina holds its breath as Messi, left-footed, has his penalty saved again. That's 2 he's missed at the World Cup, and it stays 1-0 to Egypt. Shubia dives to his left and got both hands to it, and the man who's the joint top scorer at this World Cup has now failed for a second time from the spot, and Egypt lead 1-0 still.
Oh, that's incredible. There's absolutely nobody inside this stadium expected Lionel Messi to miss that penalty. And he stepped up and he went for a safety one with his left foot. He went for the hard whip across the goalkeeper for the side netting. But Shubia, he read it on his line, dives away to his left-hand side. And there's no easy save for a goalkeeper, but from Messi's standards and from his point of view, it's nowhere near the corner of the goal. It's nowhere near inside the post. Credit the goalkeeper with a save, but for Messi, you would expect him to tuck that inside the side netting, inside the post. That was a good yard inside the goal, John.
Yeah, Messi, who missed a penalty against Austria in the group stage, has now had this one saved by Shubia. And something's been going on out of our sight, actually, in this stadium, believe it or not. From our commentary position, we can't see the near touchline, and something was happening down there. And I think I saw the referee with a yellow card in his hand, but I have to confess, it's a bit of a mystery what has happened there out of our sight, and whether it's a player or whether it's a member of the coaching staff who's received the yellow card. We'll just have to wait for confirmation on that.
Well, when the penalty was finished being taken, there was a lot of the coaching staff and the manager on the field. I think they might have thought it was a foul on Ashur in the build-up, the Egyptian player who's on this near side, because he was still on the floor while the penalty was being taken. And I think when the penalty was being taken, a lot of the staff were there attending to him on the pitch. And then the referee, as you say, came over to this near side, and somebody has received the yellow card. But with all these new commentary temporary positions that have been built up, they're all stacked up, and we can't see the first yard of the touchline, can we?
Yeah. And listen, we're not complaining. This great experience of being here at this World Cup. But it does seem strange that we have been drenched several times in commentary positions, and now we've got one where we can't see the whole of the pitch.
Drenched in both water and tequila.
Yes. As Argentina 1-0 down. Messi, having missed from the penalty spot, the chance to go clear again. The other 3 joint top scorers, Mbappe and Haaland and himself. But it stays 1-0 to Egypt. And I think however many thousand Argentina supporters inside this stadium couldn't believe their eyes when that ball didn't end up in the back of the Egyptian net.
I don't think however many thousand Argentina supporters could believe
6 minutes on the clock. Egypt leading by that headed goal from Yasser Ibrahim in the 15th minute. Ashua, who played the ball in for Ibrahim to nod it in, has got it now centre field, plays it back towards the centre circle, and now the man who conceded the penalty, Haney, with it on the right-hand side, and then he gets it back just inside his own half. Egypt again sending bodies forward. Lisandro Martinez near the edge of his own box volleys it away. Then Enzo Fernandez with a touch. Alexis McAllister brings it down, that receives warm applause from the Argentina fans. Paredes then back to the edge of the area to Christian Romero of Tottenham Hotspur in the orange boots. Finds the pass. Messi's found some space here just inside his own half. Messi with the outside of his boot gives it to Julian Alvarez. He eventually is able to get it down, the Atletico Madrid forward. Julian Alvarez now did the full 360 degrees. Then he was challenged by Atia, but he got away from him as well. Ball played to Tagliafico on the left-hand side. Tagliafico then back towards the halfway line, and Lisandro Martinez will use Paredes. Paredes to the right to Molina. Nahuel Molina. Now De Paul. De Paul's dangerous looking cross. Oh, good save! Good save! The header from the edge of the 6-yard box. Bang on target from McAllister, but kept out by Shabir, who's saved the penalty, and now a reaction save to keep out the header from Alexis McAllister.
He's got to score. He just has to score, John. He's absolutely put on a plate for him by Rodrigo De Paul. Super ball just to the edge of the 6-yard box, out swinging. McAllister completely free header, and inexcusably he heads it straight to the goalkeeper, Shambier. I mean, it's a good save from Shambier, but he doesn't have to dive, and from that range with a free header, McAllister just has to score.
Well, if Argentina are going to carve out chances like that, then it won't be 1-0 to Egypt for much longer.
No, Shambier's going to be a lot busier than he already has been.
Argentina 0, Egypt 1. BBC Radio 5 live from the World Cup in Atlanta. And now Messi into the penalty area, back to the edge of the box to Enzo Fernandez, who shoots, but there were 2 Egyptian players in front of him, and the ball deflected off one of them high into the air, and it dropped into the gloves of goalkeeper Shubia. And as he overarmed it away downfield for Salah, Salah was challenged, and the ball ran beyond him, and Argentina have got possession back inside their own half. So the surprise is on again. Argentina have got their work cut out again. Oh, that's missed by Lisandro Martinez, and oh, Salah couldn't get it down. It bounced up awkwardly for him, and he was just inside the penalty area, but he couldn't get it down, and Romero was able to come across. And now Argentina again with Messi. Messi then to Enzo Fernandez. Alvarez ahead of him. Enzo Fernandez on his right foot. Curling ball. Here's De Paul. De Paul across into the middle near the penalty spot. But that is cleared away by Rabia. And Egypt can clear that danger. Lisandro Martinez again through the middle. Alexis McAllister challenge. And that's a foul by Atia. Free kick to Argentina in the middle of the Egyptian half for that foul on McAllister.
This is bubbling quite nicely, isn't it?
Isn't it?
The Egyptians have certainly come here to have a go at the Argentines. But I think the team talk there from Scaloni will be, don't panic, keep doing what we're doing. The opportunities that they've had there, you saw the opportunity there from McAllister where the goalkeeper had to make another save. You do keep thinking if they keep knocking at this door, it will eventually open.
However, this is the stadium, Paul, where you and I watched England against DR Congo, when DR Congo led for well over an hour, and England and their followers were certainly getting twitchy that day. I think those Argentina commentators behind us as well will also be feeling a little unsettled by the events so far.
We haven't heard them yet, have we? So I think
not yet.
If the ball is to hit the net, we may well hear them.
We'll hear them if Messi scores from here, because this is probably the best part of 30 yards out, isn't it, this free kick? The wall is, well, that's got to be 6 yards outside of the penalty area. Messi is going to take this free kick from way out, left-footed, curls it around the wall, and the goalkeeper had to save it. Shubir diving to his right, got both palms to it.
They're claiming he left it. I tell you what, if he's left that, the goalkeeper is brave, and he is. He's brave.
He's right.
Oh, he's a braver goalkeeper than I am. Messi's hit this free kick from all of 35 yards.
That had some bend on it, didn't it?
He's bent it around the wall. The goalkeeper's gone full length to his right, and at the very last minute, he's just put his hands inside the post and gone, I'll leave that.
It hit the post.
What a chance.
He's pulled his hands away.
He's pulled his arms away, and then he just puts his arms up in the air. The coolest man inside the stadium, and goes, yeah, knew it was going wide.
It's hit the, as Messi looked at it, it hit the outside of the left post, but even so, you're dealing with centimetres, aren't you?
He could have been left very, very red-faced, the goalkeeper there, very.
However, he's already saved a Messi penalty. He saved from McAllister. One of those days where you're thinking, yeah, things are going my way today.
Well, his dad will be proud, won't he? Ahmed Schombert, 107 caps, played at the 1990 World Cup as well, so he's certainly got history in a World Cup.
But Messi, what a free kick that was. Quite apart from what the goalkeeper did or didn't do with it.
And from that distance, as a goalkeeper, I'm thinking all day long, yeah, let him shoot. And it's one of those distances where you think, is the wall advantageous or not for the goalkeeper? Because it kind of gets in the way. But the wall was perfect there for Messi, because he could curl it round it.
Yeah, the bendy had that round the wall. And it was just inches away from actually forcing a save by Shubia.
He should have saved it, John. You don't take them risks.
So we're actually calling that a misjudgment by him. The interesting thing about his dad, did you know this, Paul? Ahmed Shubia, at that World Cup in 1990, when they played the Republic of Ireland, that was the match when Egypt played so many back passes to the goalkeeper. As Egypt play a ball into the box, Romero comes and heads it away, and that's a foul on Alvarez. Free kick to Argentina, half inside their own half, and quite a strong challenge actually on him by Lachine, but it will be a free kick to Argentina. Yeah, that was the match back in 1990 where Egypt played so many back passes to the goalkeeper that was a big contributing factor to the change in the laws in terms of back passes to goalkeeper.
And it's been a huge change, hasn't it? And I think when you look at the way the game's evolved ever since, you know, that stage where you were able to pass it back to the goalkeeper, then the role of a goalkeeper changes, but now the role of a goalkeeper has gone even to a different level.
So if you've just switched on, if you've just got back into your car, finished your day at work, there is a big shock in the making here, because the holders Argentina are losing 1-0 to Egypt, and Alvarez is okay after going down. Egypt does well, actually. Hafez has really caught the eye from left back, and he skips over a challenge and then plays it back to Atiyah inside his own half, and the ball now out towards the right-hand side to Haney. Yes, Egypt leading 1-0, but Messi has also had a penalty save, the second penalty that he's missed at this World Cup, the joint top scorer at this tournament, and the record World Cup goal scorer, the 20 goals that he scored in his 6 World Cups. Egypt coming forward, but with this scoreline, Salah and co are going through and Messi and co are going out. Long way to go yet though, although in saying that, it is only 10 minutes away from half-time. And here's Ashua in the middle of the Argentina half, but he's crowded out this time, Enzo Fernandez, but then that's excellently won back, and Hafez won it back, and then rather inadvisedly had a potted goal from over 30 yards out, and it was way wide.
He got extremely carried away there, didn't he, Hafez? The high press and the tempo and the adrenaline was run through him. He just dispossessed Messi about 40 yards from goal. He had a swing at it with his right foot, and it went horribly wrong.
Yeah, the tension and the nervousness after all they went through against Cape Verde for the Argentina supporters, it'll be beginning to build here in this indoor arena. Huge windows to our left, sort of corrugated windows, but that lets in the daylight, and when you're at that end of the stadium to our left, you can see the Atlanta city centre skyscape. Here's Tagliafico, angles it back to Enzo Fernandez, left corner of the box. That comes back to McAllister, square from him. Messi, little ball to the edge of the area. Messi wants it back. De Paul shields it, and then Ashua was back in there for Egypt in his D to go to ground and scramble the ball out for a throw down the right-hand side that Nahuel Molina is going to take, the Atletico Madrid defender, the right back. Molina takes it actually all the way back to Romero near the halfway line. And we are now into the last 10 minutes of the first half. And I think those Argentina fans will be like the England fans when they were in here. The clock absolutely whizzing round. And Argentina, who've had the chances, but have not been able to find a way past Shubia in the Egyptian goal. And Paredes just forward of the centre circle. Back to Lisandro Martinez with that long now black hair, the Manchester United left-sided central defender. Paredes, the number 5 on his back, middle of the Egyptian half, but he's looking there, he's got banks of red and black in front of him. Does manage to find a little bit of space though to his left, and then it's curled into the penalty area, but Ashour's back in there, chests it down, and then wallop, he volleys it almost up to our eye level, not quite, and then Romero's able to deal with that, and Argentina have got the ball back down. I don't know, it's maybe a little bit early for those tactics.
Yeah, they don't want to be sitting deep. This back 5 has been really effective because the wide players have been pushing on and they've been making the extra attacking players. And I think from an Egypt point of view, they're just going to try and get to half-time with that clean sheet intact and give them something to build on. Argentina
0, Egypt 1. Romero almost lost that, but gives it back to Martinez. And Argentina playing from left to right in this first half, urged on by their coach, Lionel Scaloni. If Argentina can recover and go on and win the World Cup again, he will be only the second man to win the World Cup twice as a manager. Messi gets the ball back. Messi now! Oh, he's got that all wrong. He went for the curler from the edge of the box, just on the right side of the D, but he skied it, ballooned it, and it went floating away high. It might even have landed in amongst the Egyptian fans behind the goal.
He's not quite got his radar switched on today, Messi. Good play from him again, though. It's he that wins the ball back, skips inside, and you would fancy him from that type of distance on his left foot. He just uncharacteristically gets it caught on the outside of his left foot and squirms it away.
The screens here inside the stadium have just shown a close-up of Diego Simeone, who is here again as he was for the Cape Verde match. He's got his Argentina shirt on, the Atletico Madrid manager, the former Argentine international who's got great World Cup history, as you probably know. And his son, of course, Giuliano, is part of this squad on the bench, player for him at Atletico Madrid. And he looked a bit tense as well, didn't he? And well, he might. Argentina have it on the halfway line. And starting again, they're now dominating possession, but up on the big screen, that 360 degree, the massive screen that goes all the way around, just underneath the roof of this stadium. 0-1 it says on there. Tagliafico, the end of the air, angles it back, Alvarez, oh what a save! Left foot, 10 yards out, and Shabia dives down to his left and manages to deflect it across and wide of the goal.
What a save. Have we just seen the save of the tournament? That's an incredible save. Low down to his left-hand side. That's at pace from Alvarez. Catches it with the inside of his boot. It's pulled back to him from Tagliafico. And the goalkeeper goes full length down to his left-hand side. He's almost unsighted. He gets his fingertips and the top of his palm to the ball. Stadium's in disbelief. Scaloni's got his head in his hands down beneath us. I think the goalkeeper's almost put his shoulder out by doing that. That is a brilliant save.
Yeah, he's down. He's immediately called for treatment, actually, Shabia, who is performing miracles here. Shabia with the saves that he's made already in this match, not least keeping out Messi's penalty.
Do you know what? The 2 saves prior to that, including the penalty, you would expect him to make if he goes the right way. The one from McAllister straight at him, that is a top-class save. That's a world-class save. The ball's pulled back. It's one of those saves that you work on in training. So many of the training sessions that you do are worked on from the byline, ball cut back, hit at you, and it's a reaction. Very rarely do you get to perform them. That was one of them.
It's anticipation there as well, isn't there, from Shabia?
That's a lot of muscle memory. That's a lot of training.
Right, it's a corner to Argentina. Messi to take it way down to our left. I can just see him in between a man's bald head and a screen. He's just in a little gap there, little Messi. Hands on his hips again. Argentina believing, of course, that this equaliser will come. Messi plays it into the near post. It's glanced right across the goal and drops. Came off an Argentina head at that near post. I think McAllister's claiming that maybe an Argentina head then deflected, and he runs to the referee, and then he almost goes down onto his knees in exasperation, the Liverpool midfielder, because referee Letizia just looks at him and says, nope, goal kick.
Well, the last thing they need to be doing is showing signs of frustration, because that will just spur this Egyptian team on. I mean, we saw earlier then, just before that save, Tagliafico was the one that cut the ball back. After the save, he was frustrated. McAllister there moaning at the referee. Listen, the way that they're playing, it's not going to be long before they score a goal. It's going to be very tough for the Egyptians to hold out. But didn't we say that the other day in Mexico?
Exactly.
Not the Egyptians, obviously.
No. But I was going to say, you know, put yourself in the shoes of the Argentina commentators behind us. I don't think they'll be thinking, yes, this goal's going to come. Of course it is. Of course it is. They'll be thinking, crikey, we're in a little bit of trouble here. But, I mean, Paul's absolutely right. The pressure is building now. And, I mean, that save, they couldn't get much closer than that shot from Alvarez without the ball ending up in the middle in the back of the net. To Paul, then Paredes pulls it across. Enzo Fernandez, 25 yards out, but quickly closed down. Then Tagliafico with a first-time touch into the area, and just rattled away downfield. And that's like England the other night all over again from Egypt. Difference being we're not at half-time yet in this match.
Clearing the ball into space. Mohamed Salah's already cutting a very lonely figure.
That's the voice of Paul Robinson, England World Cup goalkeeper, with me to my left, high up here in the benches in the Atlanta Stadium, with Tagliafico attacking down the left-hand side, pulls the ball across, it's left by Alvarez, then cleared away, comes back to Alvarez, now on the edge of the box, Messi takes it over. Alvarez now has it, but he's got his back to goal, turns and shoots, and the ball flies away over the angle of post and bar. Probably not as close as it appeared from our angle, I imagine. Yeah, just seeing it again on the replay here, that was probably 5 or 6 yards wide and high.
It's constant pressure now, though, from Argentina. They're looking desperate to get this goal before half-time. Tagliafico overlapping on that left-hand side is causing a real problem. Alvarez dropping in, dropping deep. Fernandez joining in with the attacks. The intricacy in and around the edge of the box. It's been good play, just with no end product.
Argentina 0, Egypt 1. The 2022 world champions in a little bit of trouble here. Throw-in for Egypt. Oh, nicely done. Nicely done by Salah, who spins and skips away, but then runs into trouble, and his former teammate Alexis McAllister tackles him. But Egypt get it back. Groans from the Argentina fans. You could hear that, I'm sure, wherever you're listening to us. Salah comes short, and he's not had a sniff yet, really, Mo Salah. But Egypt leading through that header from the central defender, Yasser Ibrahim, and this latest Egyptian attack comes to nothing, and Lisandro Martinez is able to walk the ball forward. Half-time approaching, around about 90 seconds of the first 45 minutes to play. Lionel Messi, challenged by Ashua, and then fouled by Atia, and a free kick to Argentina, 15 yards inside the Egyptian half.
Just sits in these spaces, Messi, doesn't he? And he just comes to life at the right times. He knows when to close down. He doesn't work unnecessarily. He works cleverly and in the right areas.
Incidentally, Paul, that yellow card that was shown out of our sight a little earlier, it was to a member of the Egyptian coaching staff. So a member of their coaching staff has been booked. Free kick taken in, and Shobia comes, the goalkeeper for Egypt, in amongst a whole gaggle of bodies, but gets up high and takes the catch. Well played.
Yeah, confident from the goalkeeper, but the referee's already on to him about time wasting. I mean, he did it Jordan Pickford style there, didn't he? I mean, he come and took across really well. He didn't really need to go to ground, but he knew that he could to waste up a few seconds.
Yes, he very much took a leaf out of Jordan Pickford's book there. As Salah now receives the ball inside his own half and goes on a run, and he was fouled by Christian Romero, who doesn't like the decision. And there's anger being shown by Argentina players, as has been the case all the way through the first half, to this referee's decisions. And you know, a referee like Francois Letessier is not going to stand for that.
But it's a clear foul, and it's right under the referee's nose. Romero slides in two-footed, he knows what he's doing, and then he puts his right boot and it connects with Mo Salah's left foot, and the referee, to his credit, was right on the spot again, and he was correct.
Yeah, it's a classic Romero foul, isn't it?
Well, you can guarantee you're going to get at least 3 of them at a game.
Yeah, Christian Romero, who was sent off twice this season for Tottenham.
6 times since 2021. He became a liability at one point.
1-0 to Egypt. Argentina are losing. And don't forget, this is the side of the draw that features England and Norway. You'll hear that with us on Saturday night. We'll be in Miami, Paul. That's where we're going next.
You brought your fancy shirts, John.
McAllister to our right to DePaul. I brought my check shirt. Then it's back to the centre circle to Paredes. Lisandro Martinez will join in. 5 minutes of added time we're playing here. And then back it goes. Argentina knocking on the door, but not able to find a way through. De Paul's cross into the penalty area, head height. That's nodded away by Rabia. Comes out, Lisandro Martinez again. Alvarez turns. We've seen him drop deep a lot. He had the big chance. Curled into the box. Messi, oh, just headed across goal. Just Hafez came across. I thought it was going to be a little bit like the goal that he scored the other night against Cape Verde. But Hafez just got up, got ahead to it. And the goalkeeper's got it in his hands again.
No, he makes such intelligent runs, Messi. Spoke about him working effectively and in the right areas. That's exactly the right place. And his teammates know that he's got the intelligence to run in behind. It's just a case of finding him.
As this latest Egypt attack comes to absolutely nothing. And Emiliano Martinez, who's had relatively little to do in the first half, apart from pick the ball out of the net, as they say, when Ibrahim scored with that header in the 15th minute. Now, though, a foul on Rabia near the halfway line and a free kick. And referee Letitia is whistling on the Egyptian medical people, because I think he's landed on the small of his back.
He's landed on the small of his back, but he's holding his chest bone. I mean, it looks like the pain from his back, what he landed on, has gone all the way up and through his chest. The referee immediately went over it in almost a way to go, come on, let's get on with the game, it's nearly half-time. But immediately showed his concern over to the bench.
Yes, and the medical people who've come on, the physios, they've got a massive blue ice pack, and they're rubbing it on his chest.
Well, if there is anything wrong with his chest, I mean, sticking a load of ice that heavy on his chest might not be of too much help.
I'm sure I've ever seen that before.
No.
It's a massive, I presume, pack of ice. He was rubbing it on his chest like you'd clean the windows.
We should all get one, because it's obviously magic.
Up his junk. It wasn't it? It was like cleaning a window.
We need to find out what it is and give every Premier League team one, because whatever it is, it will cut injuries down.
Miracle cure. But he's had to go off the field. We are almost at the half-time break with Egypt leading 1-0. Messi's had a penalty saved. Goalkeeper Shubia is having one of those goalkeeping performances. We've seen a few of them at this World Cup, Paul. And now here is Hassan down the right-hand side. Ball comes in. Lisandro Martinez is able to head it away for Argentina. And I'm not sure if Rabia is back on the field yet. Is he? Yes, he is. He is out there. And Argentina have got the ball at the back, and still on that huge screen above our heads. 0-1. Argentina flag 0. Egypt flag 1. And right up there, and the maze of metalwork up there is incredible above our heads. Grey girders. There must be hundreds of them up there. There's a walkway as well, and there are two men up there in black who are watching the game from the most unique perspective. They must be 100 feet above the pitch surface, maybe more than that. Staring down on Alvarez, middle of the Egypt half, giving it to his left, Enzo Fernandez. Then Tagliafico receives it on the left-hand side, but Egypt have got almost all of their red shirts back inside their penalty area. It comes back to Paredes, the middleman in the midfield. Alvarez comes out of the box, gives it to Messi. Messi in a tight area, then passes it to Enzo Fernandez. Then back to Messi, and Messi's pass forward to Tagliafico. But the offside flag was up against the fullback, and it's a free kick to Egypt. And the score is still Argentina 0, Egypt 1.
Done well, Tagliafico, on the overlap on that left-hand side. He's added that extra body to the attack, and they've utilised him very well.
Goal kick. Still we play on. Actually, we've not reached the 5-minute mark yet at the end of this first half. So Shubia, who's been the man of the match so far, will take this free kick downfield. Headed back by Lisandro Martinez. Then Tagliafico clears it, and then the ball is put out of play on the far side. And it is a throw-in to Egypt, halfway inside the Argentina half. And I think Ashua has got a problem, which is a problem for Egypt, because he's been one of their stars at this World Cup. And he's actually just standing. They're waiting to make the change, but he's just walking around at the moment. Whether they'll make that change before half-time. Hassan has got it. And now the pass from right to left, it's behind Ashur, and it's actually behind Hafez as well, and out of play for a throw to Argentina. The ball is out of play, they don't make the change yet, so it looks as though he will see it through to half-time. Messi seconds away from the break. Long pass forward. Shabia's come out of his box, then it bounces past him. He's going to do well. He's actually shoved over there. And the half-time whistle goes with the ball in the hands of the man of the first half, the Egyptian goalkeeper Mostafa Shubia, who saved a Messi penalty and made 2 or 3 other saves as well. Yasser Ibrahim scored at the other end in the
Pulisic didn't even break a sweat. Ream got dunked on. Freese kicked the ground instead of the ball. Should we talk about this golden generation then, Lahu? Do you think they've missed their chance now?
Yeah, before we get to that, I really want to hit on something that Marco touched on about the round of 16, because I think the golden generation chat is something that is a just massive, bigger picture thing. But the round of 16, this has become a bit of a habit. And we've witnessed it covering the game. You've witnessed it as well, covering this beautiful game. There's this psychological thing, this psychological roadblock for the U.S. men's national team when it comes to this. And I'm going to be frank, when they come up against some of the big boys have gone belt to ass against the U.S. men's national team. They have taken off the belt like Michael Irving did for the University of Miami this past year when it came to college football, and they went, this cannot continue, because this was supposed to change under Mauricio Pochettino. And what I saw, and you went through every single one of those players, what I saw in that game was, from a psychological standpoint, they crumbled under the pressure. And for me, I saw the pendulum swing momentum-wise, because looking at some of the performers on the pitch today, Christian Pulisic was a ghost. Tyler Adams was pedestrian, and Tyler Adams is part of the engine room for the U.S. men's national team. Weston McKennie was getting bodied by Nicholas Raskin, who I thought was outstanding, by the way. Serginho Dest looked like he had no direction. You mentioned Tim Ream. Chris Richards had a really difficult game, and Alex Freeman is young, he's inexperienced, he looked that way. So every single player chose the worst possible day to have their worst possible game at this World Cup. But if you're the U.S. men's national team, this is a moment for reflection for me, because you came out, you got a coach who has raised the ambition of the men's national team, but yet the same results. So where do they go from here? That's a question that I can't answer today. If I could, I'd be getting paid the big bucks. I'd still be working for the Lasso Network, big bosses, but I'd probably have a job with the U.S. Soccer. So this creates more questions than the answers we thought we were getting during the group stages.
Ginelli, the Call It What You Want crew said the round of 16 was like an expectation for this US side in this World Cup. Do you think this was a success for the US this World Cup so far, or a failure?
It's difficult.
Because I think we all expected them to get to this stage.
The way they started the group stage against Paraguay, I was like, whoa, this team can make the semifinals, maybe, at least. It was very, very impressive. But then seeing the way that they went out, I wouldn't say it's a complete failure. I think the game itself against Belgium was a failure, but I think the performance in general at this World Cup, I think it was good. It wasn't great, it wasn't perfect, but I think it was good because we saw glimpses of what some of these players are capable of. I think for moments, I thought just the relationships between McKennie, between Balogun, between the players in the midfield, it was impressive and it was exciting. And it was the first time, I think, seeing a U.S. men's national team be exciting to watch.
Marco, for it to have been a success, would you have wanted the U.S. to beat a team like Belgium, a highly ranked team?
You have to beat a good team. Yeah. You have to beat a real team. You have to beat a team that you're not as good of. You have to over exceed the expectations. For me, it's bang average. I mean, this is what I expect. I thought this would happen, and you mentioned this golden generation. It's a label that was given to them. It's not a label that was earned. We have not seen that, unfortunately. It sucks to say, yes, a lot of the players are playing in Europe, in Champions League, they're performing, but when it all comes together, we brought in Pochettino, we brought this group together. It didn't look good coming into the World Cup. Then you're right, we had this match against Paraguay. The first 45 minutes, you beat Australia, the momentum is building. But then when it came to it, when the bright lights were on, when you had to overachieve, and by the way, you didn't lose, context is always important. You didn't lose to France. You lose to France in the round of 16, you have a bad draw. Okay, fine. Guys, we lost to a Belgium that it's the worst Belgium of the last decade. It's the worst Belgium of a decade, and they lost to them, if we're just saying the truth. So We have to be humble, learn, see what happens with Pochettino, what players are going to come into the squad, but we can't act like this is a success for me.
I think if the U.S. had lost with a very good performance, with the fight, with quality, with not so many mistakes, we would have been having a different conversation.
How Mexico lost went out against England.
It's a good point.
Yeah, look, 2002, that 02 team lost to a Germany side, albeit in the quarterfinal, and they put some respect back on U.S. soccer. But what I'm concerned about now is you flip it forward, because you can't go back and replay it. Well, I mean, you can't go back in theory and replay the game.
Are there any articles?
Article 28 coming up. But when you look ahead to the next World Cup, this is not a young group anymore. 2022, they were a young group. This is a group that was entering their prime. The next World Cup, you look at some of the ages of some of the players, this is a completely different dynamic. Okay, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic. This is their current age group. You flip it now in 4 years, the core group of this team, they're going to be in their 30s. So there's going to be a lot of question marks about who do you bring in. And we've seen national teams, Marco, and Janelle, you've seen this as well, where there's always this refreshment when it comes to cycles, when it comes to what happens between now.
Do you think they have that? Do you think they'll be able to?
I think we're going to find out at the next Gold Cup. This is where some of the players, I think of Xavier Gozo. We think of some of the Red Bull players that have really made a mark in Major League Soccer. You think of maybe, is this a time to throw Kevin Sullivan? He's the wonder kid in Major League Soccer that everyone keeps talking about. Is this a time to throw him into the next Gold Cup? So if you're Mauricio Pochettino and you are still the manager or the head coach of the U.S. men's national team, you got to find the next crop and the next group of players coming up, or else we'll be having the same conversation in 2030.
If this were the end for Mauricio Pochettino as the U.S. head coach, Marco, would you consider his tenure a success?
For me, it would be hard to say that it's a success. I mean, if think about it, we looked at the graphic of what the last teams have been able to do. I mean, I think he had an incredible buy-in. I think tactically we saw things from this U.S. national team, if we look at the World Cup as a whole, that I don't remember growing up watching the team and looking at them tactically the way that they lined up. But it's hard to say with a stamp of approval, yeah, it was a success. But do you bring in another coach? Does he actually get you out of a round of 16? That's also difficult. I look at the players as well, and you look at them and say that there has to be responsibility shared. So it's not just on Pochettino to decide if it's a success or not.
Lou, do you think the same way?
Yeah, excuse me, I'm with you. Very few times I'm lost for words, and maybe this team and their performance last night's a big reason. But I think you hit the nail right on the head with this. What Mauricio Pochettino has done is the first thing he did, he exposed and shined light on something that needed to be addressed, which was the fact that the culture needed to change with the U.S. men's national team. But now, if you're U.S. soccer, the next step that you need to do is you need to make sure that you can retain Poch in this role as head coach, because he built something. And now if Poch wants to say, and I don't think if you ask anyone in U.S. soccer, it'll be not for a lack of, do we want Poch? It'll be, does Poch want to be a part of this project? And that's where you get your best negotiators, you get your best contract people, you get your best people to pitch this project, and you make it enticing for him, because he is the most important next piece for U.S. soccer.
I agree with you on that. I think it's difficult to build a system if you're constantly changing the direction of the team. I think if they want to see a successful U.S. team for the next World Cup, I think keeping Pochettino is the best bet, because he's allowed them to play with freedom. I think he has brought out the best in some of these players, and he also believes in players that maybe before didn't believe in themselves. But like you mentioned, it's about that individual responsibility. Do these players want that? Does Pulisic want that responsibility? I don't think he does. He's 27. It's likely that he will be captain at the next World Cup. But when he came off the pitch, he had his head down. Yeah, he was injured, but he had his head down, and he was like this the whole time. And it's like, your team needs their leader. Your team needs Captain America. Where is that responsibility? Where is that desire to say, okay, I'm going to be that person. I can't do it on the pitch, but I'm going to do it off the pitch. And that's not up to Pochettino.
You were at the game yesterday. I just want to get your initial thoughts, just as a journalist, from your point of view of this loss yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it was massively disappointing. I think it was I don't want to say it was surprising, but it was the first real reality check that this team had in this tournament, where they had to face a team that was a top European side. And the beginning of this tournament, they were allowed to kind of build up the good vibes, to get the country behind them, which was good and important. And it was the point of this tournament, right? To try to bring new people into the sport, to entertain them. And they did that job, and they did it well. I'll always remember that win over Paraguay for what the atmosphere is like and the reaction to it around the country. But this game last night was the moment that the tournament was really about, because they had a chance to change people's minds going forward. And instead, I think it went the other way, right? I think people have said they are exactly who we thought they were. We're not going to buy in on this anymore. What we saw at the beginning was an illusion. And that's the hardest part to cope with coming out of this tournament, is that, there is still so much more that has to be done to grow this program, to grow the sport in this country. And this moment, this 2026 World Cup, a home World Cup, the chance to show where the U.S. has gone, is a missed moment now. It's a missed opportunity on so many different levels. And the hope is that not too much damage was done, that maybe there are little glimmers of that belief that were instilled to people here and there along the way. But really, my hope is that this opens an opportunity to kind of look in the mirror more for the leadership around American soccer, and to really study what they need to do to help this sport grow.
Paul, I said it before, we have to stop meeting like this, because I feel like it's been 2-3 days that we're bringing bad news or crazy news to the U.S. soccer public and to the world. But all jokes aside, I echo what you said. You can feel the doom and gloom, or the mood shattering, just sense of what we just saw against Belgium. But when we flip it forward to 4 years from now, I mean, so many people have labeled this the golden generation, but at the next World Cup, this so-called golden generation, they're going to be older. So what might this group look like in 4 years' time? Because I'm not filled with as much hope as I was prior to kickoff last night, seeing the age that some of these players are going to be at.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can look at the Belgium team and kind of get an idea of where this national team program is going now in the next 4 years and the 4 years after that. You have the remnants of Belgium's golden generation on the field last night, and then you have the young players who are coming through and maybe seizing control and saying, it's our turn. And that's what U.S. soccer is going to need, because the biggest stars of this team are going to be in their 30s in the next World Cup. And so you can't count on Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams and those players to be the featured players the same way they were this time around. Not to say that they don't have a role, they're not important, but it is valuable to start to see whether or not some other players can come through and reinforce this program. And, whether that is the players we already know, like Malik Tillman and Flo Balogun, who are newer to this program, newer to the senior program, playing in their first World Cup, who can still have a big role, or whether it's younger players coming through whose names we don't even know yet, maybe, or is it players like Gozo and MLS who can add to it? But I think we realistically have to talk about, what needs to be done, not for the World Cup in 4 years, but even looking beyond that. Because I think what we saw last night is there's still a long way to go for American men's soccer to be able to compete with the world's best. This was the quote-unquote golden generation in their prime at home in a World Cup, and they still couldn't get past the round of 16. This doesn't feel like a quick fix type of situation. Coach talking about linear growth and nonlinear growth, usually that's the kind of language you use when you're talking about a longer term project. And as much as we hoped it was closer and wanted to believe it was closer, it's not. And there's a lot of hard work left to do to get there.
Paul, we've been talking about how we saw a major lack of leadership in last night's match, a lack of individual responsibility and that individual desire to pick the team up, to lift the team up, to guide the team in the right direction, especially in difficult moments. And I'm talking about within the pitch, inside the field in those moments, because you can't depend on Pochettino or your coach to always be the person to solve the problems for you. I don't think Pulisic has it in him to be the Captain America that everybody wants him to be. Who do you think are those players that should step up and take that leadership role?
Yeah, I mean, there always have been certain personalities in this team that have played that role, and it's never been Christian, right? Tyler Adams has always been sort of the vocal leader of this team and the lead by example guy in the locker room. And to be fair, Tyler also did not have a great game last night. And so where that responsibility falls now are many different places. But I agree with what you guys were talking about earlier in regards to Mauricio Pochettino. I think whether you keep Pochettino or not, it is critical that you bring in a coach who's able to keep in place some of the things that Pochettino has been changing around the federation. The idea of who's in charge, what control looks like, how people value call-ups, the ability to choose whether or not you get called up or not, the approach to being with the national team in general. You need somebody who's got the power to say, this is the way it is, I'm in charge, the power stays with the people it should be with and not with the players. So there is the on-field responsibility part of it. But as this program moves forward, I think that cultural change that Pochettino instituted in a relatively short amount of time is the most important factor moving forward with this national team, to make sure people understand that being called in is a privilege. It's not something that you can just kind of toss to the side or think that is always going to be there. And if you lose that mentality, then you're taking more steps backwards from even the levels of progress that were made in this World Cup cycle.
Paul, I know it's fresh, but with all the context you have, your feeling, do you think he stays? Do you think Pochettino stays as the U.S. coach?
I would be surprised if he stays in the long term. I could see him maybe signing the extension and being around for a little bit, but he has signaled pretty clearly publicly that he has a desire to coach in the Premier League again. And I feel like there is some part of it that has to be considered as
blue and white striped shirts. I mean, it could set some sort of record for the most replica shirts inside a football stadium here today.
And I think there's a lot of Americans here today as well that are Messi supporters. I think we see football now a different generation. The team support is not necessarily as tribal as it was, but actually the individual player are what people follow. And obviously with Messi playing here into Miami, the support for Messi worldwide is actually incredible. There's a lot of Americans inside the stadium today.
Yeah, in that lift I was in earlier, I was telling you about in the first half, there were a family there who all had Argentina shirts on, and it became very clear very quickly that they were actually Americans. Here's Alvarez back to the halfway line, then into the centre circle. Paredes playing it out to the right, where it's been brought forward by Molina. I will run you through the teams when I get a chance, but the ball in play here with Paredes, who plays it to Alexis McAllister, and then back to Paredes out to the right hand side. Egypt leading 1-0 through that goal from Yasser Ibrahim, which was beautifully created by Attia. Actually, Ashur was involved in the build-up. Good work from him. Played it back to Attia, and Attia's cross in was perfect. And what a good header it was as well by Ibrahim under pressure, shrugging off really Lisandro Martinez. Argentina trying to draw level. Messi with a little pass, comes back to Messi. Tight footwork on the edge of the D, plays it square, then the shot is straight at goalkeeper Shubia from Paredes. And he's able to deal with that quite comfortably. It was DePaul, and he was able to deal with that quite comfortably.
He tried to be too precise there. The ball comes to him on the edge of the box after Messi's good work. Goes at it with the side foot instead of maybe better off putting his laces through it.
And I think Alvarez caught Shubia just as he was clearing the ball away, and he's ended up on the pitch. And I think referee Francois Letessier knows his game here, and he quickly blows his whistle and he tells the goalkeeper, get up and get on with it.
Pantomime villain. That's going to be him this afternoon if that carries on the same way the Argentinian fans in around us are already getting frustrated with him.
Yeah, that's Shubia, the goalkeeper, and now Alexis McAllister again looking incredulous as a free kick is given against him for his challenge on Haissem Hassan. And I'll give you another prediction, Paul, that at some point an Argentina player is going to be booked for dissent in this second half, as Hassan plays the ball back towards the edge of his penalty area. It was Hassan who conceded the penalty with his foul on Tagliafico that resulted in the Messi penalty. That was saved by Shubia. So 1-0 to Egypt. McAllister as Argentina win it back. Alvarez playing it through for Messi. Could be offside. Catches up with it inside the box. It runs away from him and out of play, and then the offside flag goes up, and that angers the many, many thousands of Argentina fans at that end of the ground. Goal kick, Egypt.
Did look a long way offside there. Messi to the naked eye. A good run in behind again. And that's when they've looked at the best. You know, the football that they have in front of this Egyptian defence hasn't really troubled them. But when they've got in the wide areas and they've got in behind the defence, whether it be a Messi straight run or whether it be Tagliafico down the left-hand side, the balls in behind are the ones that have troubled Egypt.
That is the voice of Paul Robinson. England goalkeeper, 41 caps, World Cup goalkeeper. We're watching Argentina with Paredes, who's got some space in the centre circle, one of those cameras that swings high above the pitch, but is way below our eye level, just sort of swings above his head as we look at it. And now Argentina with De Paul, and then back centrally, Argentina, but Egypt with everyone behind the ball. The Argentina team, Martinez in goal, and he's had next to nothing to do, the Aston Villa goalkeeper, apart from pick that flashing header out of the net. So Martinez in goal, the back four of Molina, Christian Romero, Lisandro Martinez and Tagliafico. Then in midfield, Paredes with De Paul and McAllister, as the cross comes in for Argentina from the right, but it's too deep. Hassan is able to get it down, and Hassan gets it back, and Hassan now crosses the halfway line. Haitham Hassan, with his first start at this World Cup, carries the ball all the way down the pitch, and eventually the challenge comes in on him. And that's excellent play from Hassan to relieve the pressure.
If the patterns of play are to unfold like this, they're going to need players like Hassan to do that and to ease the pressure and just to give themselves a little bit of time on the ball in the right areas of the pitch instead of chasing it all the time.
Throw-in taken by Haney, just to complete that Argentine lineup. So there's three in midfield, Paredes with De Paul and McAllister, then Enzo Fernandez, Messi and Alvarez, as Argentina walk the ball forward with Paredes. And then back it goes to Christian Romero. The Egyptian team now, Shubia the goalkeeper, back four of Haney, Ibrahim, Rabia and Hafez. And now Atia, Fati and Lachine in midfield, Salah, Zico and Hassan. And Argentina continue to keep the ball. And Enzo Fernandez, back to Paredes. Enzo Fernandez again, on his right foot, uses Tagliafico. Tagliafico then back to Lisandro Martinez. And Paredes with a little ball. Paredes gets it back, just outside the box, scoops it into the area, headed across by Enzo Fernandez, but cleared away to comparative safety for Egypt. Then back to McAllister again, and once more Enzo Fernandez, back to McAllister, but it's very, very crowded in front of him. Three Egyptians suddenly converged on him, and the ball's been won back illegally by Salah, who just nipped it away from Paredes, but the referee says illegally so, and it's a free kick. And actually Salah slipped over as he was running away with the ball, but he's all right.
Thought he was away there, didn't he, Mo Salah? The one problem for Mo Salah at that point, he was midway inside his own half. He was like the rugby union player running for the try line from deep inside his own half with about 4 players chasing him. I'm not so sure he got there.
Argentina 0, Egypt 1. The winners of this will play either Switzerland or Colombia later. Ball into the penalty area from Messi's free kick, but Shubia comes very positively, very much like Jordan Pickford in Mexico City the other evening, or the other night, UK time. Paredes, then a little swivel of the hips. Oh, he's gone for goal, but it flies away over the top of the crossbar. Again, from this height, I don't think it was quite as close as I initially thought.
Well, that's better from Argentina. I don't mind them having shots from distance, because at the start of this second half, they've been looking to score the perfect goal. They've been looking to try and be too perfect in and around the edge of the box. Shots from distance will trouble this goalkeeper.
So here we are, live in Atlanta. The match later will come from Vancouver. That's where Vicky Sparks and Dion Dublin are. So Switzerland, Colombia from 9 o'clock. And a choice of listening right now, the T20 at Trent Bridge continues on Sports Extra, and the Wimbledon commentary on the radio. Sports Extra 2 is where you'll find it, via your BBC Sounds app, or of course all across the BBC, as we continue to bring you this very, very busy summer of sport. You'll hear every one of the quarterfinals from this World Cup live on 5 Live. And if it's a late match, just like the other night, what do people have to do, Paul?
As you like to say, John, take the radio to bed.
Take the radio to bed, which I know many people did the other night, particularly with the hour's delay to the Mexico-England match. And then you can catch up on everything in the morning on 5 Live Breakfast with Rick Edwards in California. and Rachel Burden back in the UK. Well, this is becoming interesting. Well, it's always been interesting, but it's becoming more interesting because Egypt still lead by 1-0. Tagliafico, though, down the left, curls it across, but that should be dealt with at the back post. It is. Hafez heads that away, and then a good tackle on the edge of the penalty area. Fati, then the ball forward for Salah, but across with the challenge comes Christian Romero to slide it out of play, and it's a throw into Egypt on the halfway line. It's a difficult balance this for Egypt to get this right. They've lost possession after their throwing, but the referee has brought it back, and it is Egypt's ball. And Argentina, Lionel Scaloni, the coach, is claiming that Egypt are on a go slow here. Basically, they're just making the point to the referee and making sure that he's across it, which I'm sure he is. One of Europe's most experienced referees. Ball played forward to McAllister. McAllister just turns and finds that Paredes is next to him. Paredes then to Enzo Fernandez, square to Messi. Messi is closed down by Hamdi Fati, the substitute, and then Messi is fouled. And that's a free kick in a good position for Argentina over towards the right-hand side. It was Fati with the challenge again on Messi. He actually put his arm across his chest. I mean, Messi went down clutching his face. I don't think his face was actually touched.
They're not doing a lot wrong, Argentina, just without that final ball, that final attempt on target, testing the goalkeeper. They're doing everything right in possession. Egypt are really struggling to get out. They've got no real out ball. 11 players behind the ball, quite deep in their own half.
So it is a free kick for Argentina. Messi plays it square to De Paul. De Paul trying to get it on his left foot, but then Egypt have closed them down. They went square and they went nowhere. Why not put the ball in the box, Paul?
It's Messi. Do you want to ask him?
1-0 down. First time that Argentina have been trailing at half-time at a World Cup since the match at the last World Cup against Saudi Arabia. Messi turns, sets off towards the edge of the penalty area, but overruns it, and it bounces away from the veteran, the 39-year-old, as he is now. With this scoreline, this would almost certainly be Lionel Messi's last match at a World Cup. Long pass. Oh, Tagliafico heads it across, but Shobia, the Egyptian goalkeeper, is able to drop forward and gather it before McAllister got there.
Yeah, long ball forward there. Tagliafico once again getting in and around this side. Looks to head it back across the box to De Paul. The goalkeeper does well. He comes out and he reads the situation. But that's good from Argentina, mixing up. Yes, they've got the good play in and around the box, but the long ball over the top to keep mixing it up, to keep the Egyptians thinking.
Yes, remember that shock defeat that Argentina went down to, their first match at the last World Cup in Qatar against Saudi Arabia, but then went on to lift the trophy despite that. But lose here today, they'll be out, as Paredes puts in a challenge on the halfway line, throwing to Egypt. Argentina have also, incidentally, lost 9 of their last 10 World Cup matches when they were losing at half-time. Argentina with it on the right with Messi, but across comes the challenge from Hafez. It's out of play for a throw-in to Argentina. Almost level with the edge of the penalty area. The holders 1-0 down. Paredes might be thinking about another shot, which he does, which is deflected into the penalty area, then cleverly hooked away, and then well won back by Lisandro Martinez, who gets it down. He's almost in the, well, he is now in the Egyptian right back position, trying to find a way past Haney. Went down, stayed down, but Egypt are carrying the ball away. Referee Letitia is not interested. And now what a run from Hassan. Hassan still going, he gives it to Salah. It's 3 against 2. Salah plays it through. Martinez comes out. It's in. It's 2-0. Oh my goodness. Mustafa Ziko converts to give Egypt a 2-0 lead here in Atlanta. And the defending champions are absolutely rocking now. They're 2-0 down. Lionel Messi looks at the referee. McAllister's gone to him. They're complaining about something that happened near the halfway line. But Egypt score a second through Mustafa Ziko, and it's Argentina 0, Egypt 2, and the big shock is very much on.
That's exactly the counter-attack that they didn't want Argentina. They committed so many players forward, but it's still so much to do. Hassan on this right-hand side, he's run the ball out of defence, he's taken the ball forward and he's found Mo Salah, who unselfishly plays a lovely ball across in behind the back three of what it was of Argentina. And Zico takes the touch first time, and it's a super finish, but I do think we're going to have a VAR check. They're moaning about a foul on Martinez on the halfway line. He's had a bit of his shirt pulled by Atia. Lisandro Martinez.
Oh, they are reviewing it. They're reviewing it. This goal might be ruled out.
It is as well, isn't it? He's going to get called over. In fact, he has been called over. This is going to be touch and go.
Was that the foul down in the fullback position?
It was in the fullback position. I think they're just deciding as to how far. There, it's the one in the fullback position.
I mean, that's
right
the other end of the field.
It's the other end of the field, but this move did eventually lead to the goal. We're about to hear, but I think the referee...
Yeah, it looks as though...
I think he's going to cancel it,
Here he comes, Francois Le Tessier is coming forward.
After review, careless tripping committed by number 19 of Egypt in the offensive phase. Final decision is goal cancelled, free kick.
Oh, goal cancelled. And can you imagine back in Egypt now, never mind here in the stadium in Atlanta, population of 107 million people in Egypt. Oh, they'll be tearing down the curtains.
Do you know what, John? They've got to feel so hard done to, because that's happened 5 yards away from their own goal line. That foul, it was a foul from Atia, don't get me wrong, but it happened 5 yards from their own goal line. They had to get the whole length of the pitch to the other end, and that's just a question of how far back, how many, what do we call it, phases of play, stages of play do we go back? But this has been taken back. Argentina is no goal, and they've got a free kick in the attacking third, which Messi now looks like he's going to put in the box.
Well, the Egyptian fans inside the stadium are perplexed by that, and clearly they will feel that it's gone back too many phases of play. It's a free kick for Argentina, which is played in. McAllister got a flick, it hit a defender, bounced behind, and it is a corner to Argentina. Meanwhile, at the other end, or indeed for most of the stadium, celebrations. But I mean, a 2-0 scoreline, Paul, even against Argentina with Messi and all of their stars. Messi takes this corner, and it's past everyone, and bounces out over to the far side, where Paredes is going to swing it back in, which he does now, and then it's volleyed away for Egypt by Hafez. A 2-0 scoreline in this match, the way that this match has developed, I think Argentina would have had their work cut out.
Well, they're proving tough to break down, and there's one thing that really did impress me with the Egyptians. When that goal was cancelled, the manager, the coaches, the bench were in the ear of the fourth official. Every one of the outfield players got together and said, come on, let's get back together. Not one went around the referee. They all said, let's stick together, we carry on, we defend this free kick, and we move on. There seems to be a real unity about this team. Argentina are going to try and crack them, and they're going to have to do it quickly.
Argentina 0, Egypt 1 remains the score. Egypt have won the ball back. It's Salah who's over the halfway line. Mo Salah, 34 years old now, gives the ball to Hassan, who was excellent in the way that he broke away, actually, in the build-up to the goal that was cancelled. And as well, you've got to feel for Mustafa Zik, who pulled off his shirt when he converted the ball brilliantly for an angle on the left-hand side of the penalty area. And I loved as well the storyline that would have been a man called Zico scoring against Argentina at the World Cup. But we've not got it. We've not got it yet, anyway.
That was a wild celebration, wasn't it? I don't think they had any question of a doubt that the goal was even, going to be checked on VAR. The only option that we thought at the time was maybe it could have been offside, but it was such a quick flowing move from back to front, and Hassan was a real trigger for that, leading the ball out from defence.
Yes, he was. It's a nickname, Zico, and he was nicknamed by his father when he was growing up, because his dad was a big admirer of the Brazilian star. When he was growing up in Alexandria in Egypt. Argentina 0, Egypt 1. And we have less than half an hour to play. So it is that scenario, just like the match here between England and DR Congo, where time is beginning to run out for the favourites to win this match. Egypt, who've got no sort of record really in the World Cup, they've underperformed massively on the world stage as Salah just has a little kick out there after he was dispossessed. Just got to watch himself. And certainly in this situation, Egypt don't want to be like England and lose a man, particularly Mo Salah, as Argentina with Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez back to Messi, puts his foot on the ball. He plays it square. Paredes, middle of the half. Then to the right-hand side to De Paul. And then Paredes has to turn under pressure and go back to Romero. Paredes receives it again. Still 1-0 to Egypt, if you've just joined us on 5 Live. Here is Tagliafico. Then back to Lisandro Martinez, who curls it in. And a crucial touch with the head of Hafez, which took it out towards the far side. Argentina get it back. And Romero is bringing it forward. Christian Romero then uses Messi 25 yards out, but Messi surrounded by Egyptian players they're able to get a toe on the ball, and Messi has to scamper back towards the halfway line to retain possession. And actually Argentina have got to go all the way back to goalkeeper Martinez. Right-footed ball from him, lifted downfield, but that will skip away, run away from Enzo Fernandez, and it's all the way through for a goal kick. And Argentina, Lionel Scaloni is going to make his first change. I think it might be a double change actually. Lautaro Martinez of Inter is coming on, and I think I saw Nicolas Gonzalez as well, who was on loan at Atletico Madrid this summer, the 2 players who are going to come on. That is, the dugouts are on this side of the ground, and actually so steep is the banking of the stand here that we actually can't see that activity going on. Argentina coming again. De Paul with an angled ball into the penalty area that is chested behind his own goal by Zico, and it's a corner to Argentina from the right.
I think he tried to chest that back to his goalkeeper there, Zico. There's a good ball across from De Paul on the angle for the player arriving on the far post.
Are they going to make the changes now? I think they are. So Tagliafico coming off, so the left back's coming off, and De Paul as well. So he's going to have Lautaro Martinez, Julian Alvarez and Lionel Messi all on the field together, Paul.
I'm surprised that he took Tagliafico off, because I think he's been excellent this game. Created a lot of chances in the first half, and he's been a problem.
Corner is taken short. Messi's got it back. Messi beats his man, still going in the box, but then Zico comes across with a challenge. And good tackle as well from Zico on Messi. That messes with your mind, doesn't it? Zico challenging Messi. The generations coming together. And those changes just being announced on the public address system. So Nicolas Gonzalez, number 15, is on as the latest corner is taken, and Romero jumping for it, but challenged in the air, and it's cleared away, and Salah's got it down, and Salah taking it over the halfway line. He's got 2 Argentina players with him for company. He gives it to Hassan. Hassan now into the box. Hassan takes on the defender, plays it across, and it's in! Zico has scored this time, not to be denied. It's 2-0 to Egypt. The counter-attack catches Argentina all at sea, and in the end, Mustafa Zico makes it Argentina 0, Egypt 2, and with this scoreline, the holders are heading out here in Atlanta.
That one is not getting ruled out, and it's almost a carbon copy. It's the same 3 players that have combined. It's Mo Salah this time, into Hassan, and he's got such pace. The Argentine defenders can't live with him. Mo Salah does so well. He drives at the heart of the Argentina 3 defenders that are backtracking, and he gives it to Hassan, and he looks like he's going down a dead end. He goes round the outside in the 18-yard box. Carbon copy, pulls it back to Zico, arriving late from the left-hand side. Inside of his right boot, absolutely smashes it past Emi Martinez. Ensue the same celebrations, but this time the celebrations won't be cut short. Enjoy yourselves, Egypt. You're 2 up against the world champions, who may not be for much longer.
The scenes in the stands here in Atlanta. Looking to my right. Brilliant. What a brilliant reaction that is from the Egyptian fans, who are, I mean, they're here in their hundreds really, maybe just into the thousands. But the flag is there, the famous red, white and black horizontal stripes of the flag of Egypt. is being held very high. They're having a party there down in the bottom as well, behind Emiliano Martinez's goal. And Argentina now come forward down the left-hand side with Gonzalez, who swings it in. He's going to play on that flank, Gonzalez. So he's taken off a defender already, Scaloni, and brought on Lautaro Martinez and Gonzalez. So he's got the bodies on there, but 2-0 down, and we are in the 69th minute now. Argentina are in big trouble. Cross from the right-hand side, it's deflected, headed away at the back post. Only out to Paredes, who hits that, Lisandro Martinez, who hits that shot wildly across goal. It came off the defender and went out for a throw-in on the far side.
They're going to have to defend now. Egypt, Hassan's down on this near side, inside the 18-yard box. They cannot afford to be a man down.
Argentina, well, they eventually shrugged off Cape Verde, but they might be more than meeting their match with the Egyptians. As the ball's played up to Salah, he loses out. It's won back by Lautaro Martinez. Then on the edge of the penalty area, it's worked to the left-hand side. Gonzalez now up against Hassan, who does very well. He's able to dispossess Gonzalez and then drops to ground. It's out of play for a throw, and I think there's going to be another change being made imminently. In fact, it's the water break, isn't it? It's the hydration break, which we know because the music has burst into action. So what about this, Paul?
Wow.
2-0 to Egypt.
I mean, we certainly didn't expect it. And
So what a situation we have here. It's Hassan who's gone off. Hassan's been, I think he had a problem, didn't he, Paul?
I think that's a blow. I really do think that's a blow for Egypt. You saw the part that he played in the goal that was disallowed and the second goal that was given there. He was their legs to get out of defence.
Argentina coming forward, the ball to the edge of the area, that's scraped away, but the cross comes in again from the right flank, from Molina, comes to Gonzalez, he shanks it across the box, a little flick goal, but it's wide. It's wide by Lautaro Martinez, who couldn't deflect it on target, and it's a goal kick to Egypt.
Can't believe how quickly that clock's running down from an Argentina point of view. Now the goalkeeper's gone down, Martinez getting involved. He's done this since the start of the second half, the goalkeeper. I did say he might be the pantomime villain, and he's not making many friends behind that goal. It's gone down again. Surely he must realise the new rules, the players having to leave the pitch for the minute, etc. So they are going to have to get on with it, but if it stays like this, I wouldn't rule out the goalkeeper receiving a caution at some point very soon.
Gonzalo Montiel coming on for Nahuel Molina, so that's a straight switch. So Montiel on at right back. Time is fast running away from Argentina, Paul. 2-0, and there are only 15 minutes of the 90 to play. Egypt now have to be considered as the favourites to go through right now in this position.
It's going to be a great escape if Argentina can get out of this. Spoke about the way that they huffed and puffed about against Cape Verde. That was an epic 2-hour game that they eventually came through. But at the moment here, they haven't looked like breaking the deadlock. The goalkeeper's as good as he was in the first half. He's had little to do in the second half.
We're looking at a quarter-final for Egypt, but they come forward now. The ball played across the penalty area, and it's cleared away at the back post. No one in there, but the offside flag actually is up, and it wouldn't have counted, and it is a free kick to Egypt. We're looking at a quarter-final between Egypt and either Switzerland or Colombia. So one of those three would be in the semi-final on England and Norway's side of the draw. Switzerland, Colombia, that's on 5 Live, 9 o'clock tonight, live from Vancouver. And the crowd announced 68,000 and something. Was that? It was a full house, was it, Paul?
It's always a full house.
It's
always a full house. You should know that. Yeah. The figures vary, but it's always a full house.
It's always a full house. Egypt playing it through to Salah. He was involved in that second goal, that thrilling breakaway second goal that was scored by Mustafa Zico. The most famous goal that he scored. And another Zico makes his mark at this great tournament. The ball cross-field to the right to Haney. Haney now to Salah. I think the general expectation was that this would be it for Salah and not for Messi, but not so. And now the ball's played forward to Trezeguet, left side of the area, but he had to go and get it. Trezeguet shoots from the angle, but into the side netting. And Martinez, Emiliano Martinez, that is, was comfortable that was going wide.
And they're still posing a threat as well, Egypt. They've got to give them a lot of credit, yes, for the defending that they've been doing. They have been dropping deep. They have been using that defensive unit, but actually when they do get the opportunity, Zico's taking that opportunity to get forward and just hits the outside of the side netting.
Argentina 0, Egypt 2. Argentina with now 12 minutes to save themselves. Got to come up with 2 goals without reply. That is asking a great deal for Argentina, who are on a current record run of 11 wins in a row, by the way, in internationals. Back to McAllister. McAllister, right for the ball in, helped goalwards by Messi, with too many defenders in there, the blocks. There is an element of England against Mexico about this, trying to find a way through all of those bodies. Here in Atlanta, it's red shirts, not white. Cross from the left-hand side, that's headed up by Trezeguet and behind. It eventually bounces for an Argentina corner from the right.
Yeah, balls into the box. Ibrahim, Rabia, Hafez having to defend well, the 3 central defenders from Egypt. But at the moment, they haven't really had a problem. They've found good positions. They've cleared the balls away.
So Messi to take this corner. All of those blue and white shirts behind him. And it swings, headed away back to Messi. Takes 1 touch. Then the ball actually couldn't beat the first man. Trezeguet, and it bounces off his back, out of play. It's not been Messi's day, it's not been Argentina's day, but there is still time yet.
And if there's anybody that you'd want on the pitch with 11 minutes of normal time plus whatever's added on in this situation, it would be that little magician.
Argentina, Lautaro Martinez, then Paredes. Then it's played out to the right-hand side, and the cross comes in, and it's headed in! There's the first goal back for Argentina! Christian Romero goal. The central defender up on the edge of the 6-yard box. Shabir got a hand to it, diving to his left, couldn't keep it out. Argentina 1, Egypt 2, and it's not over yet for the holders.
Here we go, here we go. Is this the start of the countback? The Egyptian defenders are absolutely certain that Romero had strayed offside, but it's going to be very tight. It looks like he might just be onside. It might be his shoulder that had gone off, but it was Messi. What did I just say about him? Only a second ago on the right-hand side, just gets himself a yard of space with his left foot. But he almost looks up and picks out Christian Romero, 7 yards from goal, throws his head at it. Goalkeeper gets a good hand, but all he can do is push it into the top left-hand corner. And it looks like the Argentines, they've found a way to get back into this game. Well, the supporters away to our left certainly think that they have anyway.
The play is not yet restarting, but there's the whistle. The goal is confirmed. It's Argentina 1, Egypt 2. And we have just over 10 minutes to play. Argentina now, this huge crowd of people in blue and white striped shirts, roaring them on. Off they go towards the edge of the penalty area, and then the challenge comes in to put it out for a throw to Egypt, level with the edge of their own penalty area. That goal coming in the 79th minute, and Egypt have taken off the man who scored their second goal, Zico, and have replaced him with Manchester City's Omar Marmoush, left out of the team for this one.
Yeah, that will give them legs to get out of this defensive situation that they're in at the moment. It's fairly fresh, Marmoush. He's had a bit part to play in this World Cup. The Argentine fans to our left and all around us here, they genuinely believe that this is the start of a special comeback.
Less than 10 minutes now, but Argentina need 1 goal to draw level, potentially take it to extra time. Again, just like Cape Verde. But in that match, it was Cape Verde who twice came back to level things before Argentina won it in added time in what was one of the matches of the tournament. Here's Messi now, heading out of the World Cup, unless Messi into the box, then turns it back. The cross deflected, and that bounces behind, and it's another corner after McAllister tried to play it in.
And it was he that unlocked the door, wasn't it, Messi? Beautiful ball into the box for Christian Romero. Still had a fair bit to do. The header Romero had to really throw his head at it to generate the power. Goalkeeper could only push it into the roof of the net. It was a super ball from Messi.
That Messi's 3rd assist at this World Cup. Here is the corner from Messi. Goalkeeper comes, gets a good punch on that. He was sandwiched there between 2 Argentina players, yet he still, in between them, managed to fling an arm up and get enough on it to clear it away. Argentina come again down the right-hand side. Messi now into the box. Still Messi going, he's round the side of one defender, plays it across, and it's headed down and wide. A brilliant run. That absolutely brought back the memories of Messi at his best. And Lautaro Martinez, trying to get there, arriving, could only head it down into the ground, and it bounced wide.
Wasn't a bad chance that for Martinez. Once again, it was made by that man Messi. Jinking, mazy run that he goes on. He's very, very intelligent, Messi. He puts himself in places, i.e. the 18-yard box, when he's running at pace, and if he takes the slightest of touches from a defender, he goes over, and the likelihood is that he's awarded a penalty. Very, very intelligent footballer in those areas.
Argentina 1, Egypt 2. The World Cup on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Wimbledon on Sports Extra 2. The 3rd T20 on Sports Extra. But Argentina now, there is the growing belief that against this tiring Egypt team, that Argentina might be able to conjure up an equaliser. Who'd bet against them? Lautaro Alvarez drops deep. Alvarez then gets it back, helps it on to Messi. Messi, left-footed ball, hits the defender on the edge of the penalty area, comes back to Messi. Cross is deflected towards the back post. It's hooked across. It's still bouncing around inside the penalty area. Oh, and there he is! There he is! It's Messi! Left-foot shot! Goalkeeper couldn't keep it out, and he runs away. And Messi celebrates as wildly as he has any of the hundreds of goals that he's scored in his career. Fists clenched, Messi scores his 8th goal at this World Cup, and quite possibly saves his own World Cup skin. Argentina 2, Egypt 2, the holders have come from 2-0 down.
Who else? Who else? Why should we be surprised? He does it all the time, and he's rescued Argentina once again. They will be so grateful that he's chosen to play in this World Cup, with it being his last as well. Not only has he just half volleyed it into the roof of the net, he's got the assist, he's been the spark, he's been the catalyst, he's been everything. The Argentina fans inside this stadium absolutely worship the man, and you can see why when you watch him firsthand. The opportunity bobbles to him 8 yards on the angle, and he hits it first time on the half volley. It's a beautiful, clean, crisp strike. Once again, the goalkeeper gets a hand on it. All he can do is help it onto the underside of the crossbar. And Messi, before the ball even hits the back of the net, is wheeling away to celebrate with all those hundreds and thousands of adoring supporters over in that far right-hand corner. An assist, a goal, and a tournament still to play in.
Argentina 2, Egypt 2, and the face of Lionel Messi is on the big screen high above everyone's heads. Thousands of people inside this arena here in Atlanta have got exactly what they came for. Messi making it 2-2 after Christian Romero headed the equaliser. And now we have 5 minutes to play when Argentina will be thinking they might be able to turn this all the way around. Egypt now chasing shadows. Gonzalez gives it back to Enzo Fernandez, and then Enzo Fernandez to Lisandro Martinez. His curling ball forward. Gonzalez is able to get a touch on that, but as the defender Haney came across, he was able to make sure that it crossed the white line, and it is a goal kick to Egypt.
You just wonder at this stage of a game, when a team's been so on top and so dominant like Argentina have, why do they take the foot off the pedal? Why not go for that winner when you've got Egypt exactly where you want you, and you've got the players on the pitch that they have, all the plethora of attacking quality that they've got on the field now, Argentina? Why not go for it?
And now we are hearing the Argentina fans as loudly as we have at any point during the course of this match, which kicked off at 12 o'clock local time. It's taken them a while to get going, Paul. And the thing about the Argentina fans is it's just like all of the other World Cups that I've covered and commentated on Argentina. One thing that is striking about Argentina is the way that they travel, many of them, as families, generations. They bring little babies and toddlers with them as well. And I mean, the expense that it must be costing them for this World Cup, you can only wonder. And with around about 20 minutes to go, it looked as though this was going to be the end of the road. We said, didn't we, at the water break, that it looked as though it might be the country road for Argentina, but not so. Romero and Messi, who has now extended his record, incidentally, of scoring in successive World Cup matches to 9. It's his 21st World Cup goal in total across his 6 tournaments. That extends that record as well. And he is on his own again at this World Cup, leading the race for the Golden Boot. Messi with 8, Mbappe and Haaland with 7, and then Harry Kane with 6. As we head towards added time and the possibility of extra time, and the way that this match has gone, the way that Argentina turned it around with those 2 goals. Romero in the 79th minute, Messi in the 83rd. 2 goals in 4 minutes. From a point where I said to you, Egypt are favourites to win this, I've changed my mind about that now.
Oh, absolutely. The game has taken a little bit of a lull after that second goal. They've taken the foot off the gas. Argentina at the moment playing the ball in and around the back with Christian Romero. They've certainly got a lack of defenders on the field, Argentina, after the substitutes that the manager made to get them back into the game, but boy did it work.
Argentina 2, Egypt 2. Argentina have kept up another record as well of scoring multiple goals now in 11 consecutive World Cup matches, i.e. more than 1. Last time they only scored 1 in a World Cup match was that match against Saudi Arabia that we were discussing. As Argentina come forward, that's a foul over on the far side. It's a foul on Lautaro Martinez, and he doesn't like it actually. He stands up and actually squares up to Karim Hafez, the left back. Egypt, who thought they'd gone 2-0 up when Zico first put the ball in the net. That was overturned. It was ruled out by VAR, but then Zico did make it 2-0. And from that point, it seemed as though this big shot was on, that Argentina have got depths, and they've used them. And now, in the 89th minute, Messi with a free kick. McAllister with a touch, and that's saved away, parried away, patted away by goalkeeper Shupia. Either side of him, that would have been in the net from McAllister.
What a ball, and that was from Messi, right between the two defensive lines and the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper just stood there, pushed his two fists forward and hoped. When you're in goal and the ball comes like that, whipping in towards the goal, it's one of those type of crosses that if it misses everybody, it goes in at the far post. But that had such pace on it from Messi.
Messi, who created the first goal for Romero and scored the second one himself. Argentina in possession on the halfway line with Lisandro Martinez, who will turn and give the ball back to Emiliano Martinez. And then the left-footed high ball downfield. Julian Alvarez is able to get it down. Argentina fans now baying for a third goal, which would win them this round of 16 tie. Alvarez into the challenge, then forward from Montiel, the substitute right back. Now Alvarez takes it right out towards the right flank. In it comes towards Messi. Messi tried to find the pass forward, very nearly unlocked the Egyptian defence there, but Egypt could be up on the counter-attack here. They are. It's 3 against 1, and the ball being carried through the middle, but the pass was misplaced by Marmoush. What an opportunity Marmoush had there. Chose the wrong option, and it's Argentina who come back at them.
What a piece of defending that was. He was left absolutely isolated completely on his own. It was 3-on-1. Opportunity for Egypt there. Chose the wrong option, but it was a wonderful tackle in the end from Romero, I think it was.
7 minutes of added time are going to be played, and Egypt, a rare opportunity. Since the moment that they went 2-0 up, it's been all Argentina. They've scored the 2 goals, but that was the chance.
That was their chance. I think that was if they were going to win the game, that was their chance. I think it might have actually been Paredes who was coming back, who made the challenge. They had him isolated, 3-on-1, and they played the ball straight against his right foot, whether it by luck, fortune or judgment. It was a great defensive block.
Yeah, Marmoush, that was the moment. Still 2-2 though, still in with a fighting chance. Salah, as Egypt come forward again, curling cross, headed down, but blocked by the defender. Trezeguet got his head to that on his 100th appearance for Egypt. What a story that would have been. Now carried forward by Lachine from the midfield. And Egypt are suddenly having a spell here. Trezeguet has it again, cutting in from the left-hand side. His pass across to Attia. Attia out to Salah. Salah on the right wing. Messi's already made his mark. Salah, though, into the penalty area. Is challenged, and challenged well by Julian Alvarez. And Alvarez passes the ball forward to Lautaro Martinez. It's Argentina breaking forward now. Egypt committed men downfield, but Lautaro Martinez has taken it up to the right. Here's the cross. Oh, it's headed in! Enzo Fernandez has won it for Argentina. What a comeback from the world champions. Egyptian hearts are absolutely shattered here. The cross was pinpoint perfect for the Chelsea midfielder to arrive onto it and steer his header past Shupia. How you have to feel for Egypt. They are devastated by this, and Argentina can celebrate now. 20 minutes ago it looked like they were heading out of the World Cup, Lionel Messi and all. Now 3-2 it is, and it seems Argentina are bound for the quarterfinals once more.
Absolute scenes inside this stadium in Atlanta. The Argentina fans are going absolutely wild. They've somehow reversed it when they were out of the tournament. We thought Messi was going home. We were talking about his last tournament. It's not at the moment. It's a real counter-attack. Lautaro Martinez on the right-hand side. He looked to me like he was tired and he was looking for an easy option. And he throws the ball into the box. It's a beautiful ball out to him. And it just goes past him on the right-hand side. And it looks like he's tired, and he can see Enzo Fernandez arriving late. And to me, it looks like he just puts a hopeful ball into an area. But Fernandez makes it into something special. He's free and he leaps high and he powers it into the bottom left-hand corner. The Egyptian players in the bench are not happy. They feel there was a foul in the penalty area early on when Mo Salah went to the other end and the ball was played into the box.
There's a red card being shown down on the touchline. Something has happened there, and a red card has been shown by Francois Letessier. The benches have got involved with one another, and Lionel Scaloni is there, and it is. I think it's another member of the Egyptian coaching staff who has been shown the red card, and they clearly feel that VAR should be looking at this goal, and yeah, red card. It is a member of the coaching staff, and Shubia, the goalkeeper, has also been yellow carded, and Egypt are losing their heads down there. They're 3-2 down and they're losing their heads.
Yeah, they really feel that Fati, the substitute, was infringed in the penalty area in the build-up to that Argentina goal. When there was a transition, when the ball changed hands and they moved very quickly, Argentina, they moved defence into attack, they feel that VAR should have at least had a look at this infringement in the penalty area. I'm not so sure there was anything in it, but the way that Argentina moved forward, they were so quick, they were so swift. Very impressive from Fernandes, the way that he timed his run into the box. And can you believe it? What do they say? That's what champions do. That's what world champions do. Messi is not going home.
Double change by Lionel Scaloni, Facundo Medina, and the veteran, the former Manchester City man, Nicolas Otamendi, 38 years old, is coming on, and also Lachine is replaced by Zizou, the Al Ahly winger. So those are the changes, but the scoreline is Argentina 3, Egypt 2. They were 2-0 down. 2-0 down as the ball comes into the Argentina penalty area, but Martinez is able to come and catch that. 2-0 down in the 79th minute before Romero scored. 2-0 down in the 79th minute, Paul, and now here we are in added time, and it's 3-2 to Argentina.
One of the greatest comebacks, you would say, inspired by that little magician. I mean, he's an absolute inspiration, he is, and he's a captain and a leader that doesn't give up. And you can see the effect that he has on the rest of his team. But the quality of this Argentina team, they shouldn't have been losing this game, but it's ebbed and flowed. And the way that they're playing now, Argentina, they've got a back five, and it's now Egypt that are in the ascendancy. But you wouldn't believe that listening to these Argentina fans in here. It's absolutely unbelievable to watch. They're waving the white shirts and the white plastic bags over their heads.
How much of a case did Egypt have? Have you seen the incident that they are complaining about?
Not the second replay, but they've got more of a case. Remy Martinez just there, been 2 yards outside of his 18-yard box, ball in hand, kicking the ball down the field. But that's the incident that they're incensed about. I'm sure it was Fati, the substitute, when Salah went into the box. He wasn't actually involved in the play. It was him trying to make his way into the box. And one of the Argentine defenders that went with him, whether it was McAllister or Fernandes at the time, pulled his shirt back, and they felt that that was the infringement.
Well, we're in added time now, and again tempers are being frayed here, and the referee's having to step in. 7 minutes of added time. Enzo Fernandez's goal was in the 2nd minute of added time, and we are now over the 7 minutes that have been added on. And Argentina, it seems, have been able to find a way again. 2-0 down here. Only just were able to shrug off Cape Verde. Now having to come from 2-0 down against Egypt. And then Lautaro Martinez is fouled as he breaks away over the halfway line. That's another yellow card for Egypt. This one's for Attia. And I believe that Hamdi Fati was also booked in the aftermath of the 3rd Argentina goal.
Probably for his protest when he thought that he was fouled. I mean, we'll wax lyrical about Argentina and say how well they've done to come back into this game, but for large parts of this game we thought they were out of it. You've got to give Egypt a lot of credit for the way that, one, they approached it, and two, they carried out the game plan. And for such a long period of this game, there were 2 goals to the good.
And now something else is happening on the bench, and Hossam Hassan, I think, perhaps is being shown a yellow card. And he's got a reputation as being a little bit of a hothead, the shaven-headed coach of Egypt, and he's been shown a yellow card. And I think the referee is beckoning him out of the dugout because he wants to speak to him as well. And now there is a heated discussion going on between Hossam Hassan and the French referee, and a couple of his coaches have also come across. And they are going to. There is going to be real Egyptian anger after this.
Why is the referee giving him time? I mean, he's allowed the manager to come onto the pitch and speak to him. The referee shouldn't be doing that at this stage of the game. The referee's made his decision. He's booked him. Go and sit back down and let's get on with the game. There was a real inquest going on 5 yards onto the pitch there.
Well, you see, Egypt will feel that they were hard done to by the goal that was ruled out. VAR overturned that goal. And then when it came to the third goal for Argentina, they clearly feel that they have a case, and that should also have been subject to a VAR review, and it should have been ruled out. But as it is, it's 3-2 Argentina, Paul.
And that's when they want the foul, because their goal was ruled out for a foul so deep in their own half. That was a similar distance.
Gonzalez for Argentina. They're looking for a fourth now, but the ball is played down into next to the corner flag, where Enzo Fernandez is just going to keep possession, play it back up the line, and then it's driven forward by Paredes. And we've now played almost 10 minutes of added time. 7 were initially indicated. What a match this has been. Yet another thrilling World Cup match at this 2026 tournament. Egypt now, it's got to go long if they're going to try and find the goal. Up to Marmoush it goes, but that's an excellent challenge by Lisandro Martinez. And then the ball is played forward for Lautaro Martinez to just walk the ball or trot the ball down the left wing. There can only be seconds left. Lautaro Martinez turns on the tricks down there as well. They love that, the Argentina fans. 2 Egyptian players come and it's deflected off one of them and out of play. And now there is a squaring up between Lautaro Martinez and Atia, who has just been booked. Their heads were very close together. The referee races across to part them. And still we wait for the final whistle. Still Argentina have to wait. The throw is taken by Enzo Fernandez. And then another throw-in is won by Egypt this time. And now, Paul, we've had 11 minutes of added time. With all of the stoppages, the fact that goal was scored, the celebrations, everything that was going on the side of the pitch. But that is it. And Argentina's substitutes and coaches come running onto the pitch. What a comeback by Lionel Messi and his team. But you have to feel for Egypt here. They are furious. They feel that decisions have gone against them. They were 2-0 up. They were 2-0 up in this match in the 79th minute, and they've lost it 3-2. It was right there for them. It was right there for Egypt to knock out the holders. But what a comeback. Messi at the heart of it. Argentina have beaten Egypt by 3-2. And I think another card's been shown down there to any one of those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Egyptian players, coaches, etc., who are near the referee and his team.
Are we going to get a bad game this week? I was tired enough after the other night, but that was incredible. I mean, that's got to go down as one of the great comebacks, inspired by the man Lionel Messi, we all expect magic from. But when you watch it and you witness it firsthand, it's spectacular. He dragged his team up there by the bootlaces. They were down and out. They were out of the tournament at one point. And Egypt are so frustrated with the refereeing decisions that have gone against them. They had a second goal disallowed before they got their second goal for an infringement that was created almost on their own touchline. They went the whole length of the pitch and scored that second goal. And then they were hanging on and hanging on. And then Messi, he just stepped in and went, hang on, I'll take over. Beautiful assist, great finish for his goal. And then the substitutions worked for Argentina. So many subplots and stories to this game. We definitely haven't heard the end, but the world champions, they too haven't heard the end.
There'll be anger about this from Egypt. I'm absolutely certain of that. Mo Salah, that's probably the end of the World Cup road for him. It looked as though